you're not dead?
I have no idea!
Oh, give me a big fat break!
In case you haven't noticed recently, Sonic the Hedgehog has been on a redemption arc. It might not feel like the blue blur has ever really left us, and that's because he hasn't. But sometimes you need to reach the summit to survey that which has come before.
Yeah, this is the real me. Pretty cool, huh?
And it's only when we consider Sonic's current position, when directly compared to years prior, that the disastrous depths that the world's favourite hedgehog plunged to becomes truly clear. Sega knows it too. For Takashi Iizuka, the Sonic series producer who first worked on the franchise just 2 years into his career, fresh out of university, he naturally ties the memories and comparisons to different periods of his life. 10 years ago, Iizuka moved from Tokyo to Burbank, and at that time the Sonic brand was not in a very positive space. And by Iizuka's own admission, lots of fans were unhappy with the things coming out.
Help! I got you. I'm slipping. I've got you. I can't hold on much longer. This is not how it ends for you.
He's right, of course. On the timeline he presents, he moved to the States after a bumpy time for Sonic. There was the decent Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations, yes, but then there was also the divisive Sonic 4, the middling Lost World, and the infamously broken and unfinished Sonic Boom, which did at least produce a genuinely highly underrated cartoon, but even that struggled to find an audience. Basically, times were rough for our blue hedgehog pal. It was in the wake of projects like this that Iizuka made his move. He ended up splitting his time between managing Sonic Team back in Japan and taking care of product development at Sega of America. Iizuka admits that when he moved over from Tokyo to Los Angeles, it was like an "oh my god" moment, realizing that they needed to save the brand or this Sonic might not be around for much longer. What began was a Herculean fightback. The charge was led by a smart decision to pivot to fans. That gave us Sonic Mania, where Iizuka supervised a team of folk who'd spent decades ripping apart the best Sonic games to reverse engineer them. Mania ended up the highest scoring non-racing Sonic game in 15 years, and it's still one of the best of the bunch. Then the train kept rolling. Sonic Forces was a little shaky, but it laid the groundwork for Sonic Frontiers, a bizarre but nevertheless compelling vision of video game open worlds, interpolated through the traditions and tropes of Sonic.
That was fun. But I guess it's time we got moving. I know you all have big plans.
Perhaps the confidence in the franchise is best represented, though, in the release of The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, a free visual novel released on April Fool's Day 2023 that is surprisingly really good. This is the sort of thing a Japanese publisher would never usually greenlight for a beloved cash cow mascot, but Sega was now thinking differently. Then came the movies and Netflix and even something of a creative renaissance for the long-running Sonic comics with its shift in publisher. In fact, as a British-based website, we are contractually bound to note that the only true tragedy remains the continued dormancy of the comic's excellent UK iteration, which died alongside Sega's hardware publishing aspirations.
Life or death situation, I need you to use the ring to save me, like right now.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
British woes aside, Sonic was now established as a sprawling transmedia franchise, and more importantly, a critically and creatively successful one, with Iizuka at the heart of it leading the charge.
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here.
Yeah, in my lungs.
The thinking is now not just about games, but beyond, which perhaps explains why Sonic Racing Crossworlds is plying crossover shenanigans to let Sonic mix things up with some of the biggest brands in games, and, if leaks are to be believed, outside of them too. Despite its mega success, Sonic is only the third highest grossing video game movie, but you know what the second is? Minecraft. And there isn't a Minecraft racing game. But Minecraft stuff is in Sonic Racing Crossworlds. The strategy then seems clear. Back in the 90s, Sega used to like to tout the dubious claim that Sonic was more internationally recognisable than Mickey Mouse. Even as Sonic-obsessed 80s kids, we doubt that was ever true. But in Crossworlds, Sonic can at least have as many famous mates as Mickey. There are still challenges, of course. At Summer Games Fest, Iizuka is quietly contending with an enormous leak of pre-release assets from Crossworlds, seemingly revealing unannounced crossovers and DLC plans for the game, which isn't due out until September. When asked about these leaks, Iizuka explains that when the team is making a game, a lot of effort goes not just into the creation of the content, but also effort is made with publishing teams and marketing teams into how they present the game. There are tons of plans. When people go online and say things about the game, when they spoil things, or when they give disinformation, it destroys that planning. It ruins a lot of people's work. People who spent a lot of time setting things up in order to make people excited. Iizuka also goes on to say that sometimes there may be deals going on with other partners and other people that fall through because people are out there saying things about a title that maybe are true, maybe are not, but true or not, it's now associated with the title. He'd appreciate everyone not messing with it and allowing the professional teams to do their jobs and present the product how they want to. We get Iizuka's point, we really do, but another way to look at it is that such leaks are, in part, a sign of Sonic's revitalization. The Sonic fandom never went away, it's true, but more people care now than they did a decade ago, which then leads to more rabid fans digging out and sharing whatever information they can find. In a sense, it all comes back to Sonic being back on track. What a difference a decade makes. Iizuka is still in awe of how things have changed with the addition of Netflix content and movies, as well as the games. It's a monumental shift compared to the state of Sonic from 10 years ago. Back then, Sonic was fighting to survive, but in 2025, the future of the Blue Hedgehog has never looked brighter. Thank you so much for watching this video about Sonic the Hedgehog. If you enjoyed it, please go really fast to those like and subscribe buttons, because here on Eurogamer, we publish videos about video games almost every day. Goodbye.